The internet gurus are lying to you. And no, this is not clickbait. And no, they're not lying to you from a bad place where they're trying to take advantage of you or screw you over. The truth is that the internet gurus have products and services that they're selling to you. And the content that you consume that is created by them and their teams of people is created specifically to attract you into their ecosystem so that you buy their education product. And they have every right to do so. And you have every right to purchase these products. And you should purchase these products because these gurus, whether it's business or philosophy or mindset, they know what they're talking about and their products change lives. So what do I mean when I say that the gurus are lying to you? Well, imagine there was this little magic pill, and this little magic pill could make all of your problems in this world go away. You would take that pill. But what if that little magic pill lost its effectiveness over time in a matter of years, months, weeks? Now you don't like that this little magic pill has lost its effectiveness, so you start to look for a solution to this new problem. As you're looking for a solution to this new problem, you are seeing new versions of little magic pills. And along with those new versions of little magic pills, you are also seeing this same person who sold you the original magic pill telling you that their solution, their magic pill, is the best magic pill and it's the only magic pill. This is called multi-level marketing. There is top of funnel, where you have been introduced into their content ecosystem and you start watching their content. When you have yet to buy something from them, you're in the middle of their funnel. You are being fed specific content based on your interests that the algorithm thinks that you will enjoy. As you watch more and more and more of this content, you are sold a perspective that becomes all-encompassing in your life, especially if you decide to adhere to one specific train of thought from one specific person. This is no different than how Christianity exists, or Judaism, or any other religion. But before I go any further, I do want to reiterate that what these gurus are doing is good. They're helping people, and that's an amazing thing. However, if you expect to absorb one train of thought into your consciousness and make it your only way of living, then you will find yourself stuck a lot whenever you arrive at a crossroads that doesn't adhere to that train of thought. So instead of continuing to subscribe to a certain train of thought from one type of person, it's important to take the average of all of the opinions of all of the people that you listen to and craft your own custom experience in this life. Every 7 years, 100% of your cells regenerates. So you are literally a different person physically, mentally, spiritually today than you were 7 years ago. Maybe 7 years ago you liked Maroon 5 and Nickelback and now you have good taste in music. Maybe you used to jog, but you kept hurting yourself, so now you just mountain bike and hike. The point is that every few years you change dramatically. So you need to hold on loosely to the truth that you have decided matters and not get overly attached to one way of living or one way of thinking, so that you can continue to evolve and you can continue to do your best work and be the best version of yourself possible. To give you some context on what I mean by these gurus selling a white lie, let's look at a few of them. So the first one is Alex Hormozi, who I'm sure you've heard of. I've been watching Alex Hormozi for a long time, and Alex Hormozi is the epitome of the anti-routine. He says he gets up in the morning whenever he gets up. Sometimes if his wife is up, he'll have coffee with her, and then he gets right to work. And he almost mocks people who have some sort of routine that they do in the morning before they get to work. But the point of a routine, especially in the morning, is to teach you self-discipline. And I don't think Hormozi is the kind of guy that needs self-discipline because he's jacked as hell. So his opinion is skewed and it's based off of him speaking to a certain type of person who maybe is insanely jacked like he is, like his bicep is the size of my head, and that type of person will definitely not need to get up in the morning and do some sort of routine before they get into work because they automatically have really intense self-discipline. So does that make him right? Does it make him wrong? It makes him either or, but we need to remember to take these opinions with a grain of salt and not take them literally. If you hear Hormozi say, you don't need a morning routine, you need to just get up and get right to work, consider your own needs and weigh his opinion against the average of the other people that you like to take advice from. Robin Sharma is the complete opposite of Alex Hormozi. He wrote a book called The 5 a.m. Club, which I would highly recommend reading. And in this book, he describes the power hour, where you wake up at 5 no matter what, and then you exercise, you read, you write, and you meditate for an hour. And he claims that if you don't do this, you're useless and the day is ruined. But what if you read this book and you tried that for a year and it worked really well for you, but then through a series of events, you got a new job that requires you to stay up until 2:30 in the morning and you love that job, it makes you feel alive. Is Robin Sharma then right or wrong? He is either or. He just has his opinion, and that opinion is based on the product he is selling to you. He lives the lifestyle that he sells to people, and he is speaking to a specific audience. But if you ran that system that Robin Sharma sold you for a year or 2 years, and then your circumstances changed, you have to have the common sense to shed that way of living and absorb a new one. Andrew Huberman is a neurologist who is obsessed with peak health. He's also jacked, and he also has strong opinions against drinking, smoking. He has an extremely intense morning routine that he runs every single morning where he has to get sunlight into his eyes first thing in the morning. He basically claims that anything that is not water and healthy food and exercise is detrimental to your health. But there are old men who live in Italy who chain smoke and drink red wine and hang out with their friends all day, and they live to be well over 100. I'm not condoning that behavior, by the way. The point is that what Huberman is failing to comment on is the importance of community and energy levels in terms of your feeling and your vibe in regarding what you do with your time every day. There are equally as many people who stress themselves into an early grave because they're worried about dying. They're stressed about, I can never drink, I can never have a cigar, I can only eat these things and only drink water. Stress will make you very sick, and it's sort of dangerous that he doesn't touch on that. However, there is a lot to take from Huberman's studies. He is a neurologist, he's a scientist and a doctor, and he understands things about the human body that I will never claim to fully grasp. So he has valuable information to take and inject into your life as well. So be who you are and take the average of anybody that you like listening to and craft your own lifestyle, your own routines, your own way of being optimized so you can live a good life and do good work and be happy and healthy. You're going to cycle through new cells every 7 years. You're always evolving, you're always becoming a new person. So if you do absorb a certain way of living, a certain lifestyle, and in the next few years it doesn't apply to you anymore, don't be afraid of shedding that and finding a new thing to help you through this life.